Hi everybody, Nicole again with yet another movie review. I actually went and saw 3 movies since the last time I've done a review, but the one that I'm going to be reviewing today is District 9. It is rated R. It's about 118 minutes, and my rating, I'm going to give it a A-minus. Just a little bit about the plot. An extraterrestrial race has landed in Johannesburg, South Africa, because their ship is having issues, their mothership. But due to lack of resources, they cannot leave. They are stuck here until they could get things in order. Well, it's been 28 years and they're still here. They're put into a small area like a refugee camp. Unfortunately, the race has grown and the area has become overpopulated and has become slum-ridden. Unfortunately, the South Africans do not want them there. They're causing too much problems. So they set another area aside about 200 kilometers away for the prawns. The prawns is the name that the human race has given these aliens because of their look like prawns. So when they're being evicted, they're having these agents go in and have them sign eviction papers. One of these agents is Wikus de Van Weer. And when he goes around, he has to have them sign the forms. And while he is going around signing the forms, he also has to look to see if there's weapons, alien technology, or if they could be hostile, and then he has to report them, and other agents called the Cowboys come and take care of the problem. Unfortunately, it's not an ethical way that they take care of the prawns. Why Wikus is at one of these slum houses, he comes across a container and he gets contaminated. But because of what happens to him afterwards, he finds himself conflicted with choosing which side to fight for. Does he go choose the aliens or does he choose the human race? And that's basically the major of the plot, is this character Wikus and his story, what happens after he gets contaminated. I won't give too much away because I want you guys to go see this. So, characters. There's only really 2 major characters in this film. A lot of supporting roles, a lot of minor roles, because it's shot up as a biographical film, a historical film. So there's a lot of small parts of interviewees and like personal connections to Wikus. Wikus' character is pretty complex. He has to go through every emotion and reaction that you could imagine. What I find it hard to believe is this main role, that's so complex, is played by Sharlto Copley. He's never been in a motion picture film. He's never had an acting job before this. And he pulls it off amazingly. I mean, at the beginning of the story, you're like, do I like him? Do I hate him? Am I supposed to not like him? And then you're starting to really root for him, and then you kind of get pulled away again, like, I don't know if I really should trust him or not. And then even at points you feel sorry for him. So it's interesting just to see this character on film played by a no-name actor. But I believe Mr. Sharlto will not be unknown for very long. He did an amazing job. The other main character is Christopher Anderson. Christopher Anderson, that's a pretty standard name, pretty common name. You wouldn't think that was the name of the main alien. Christopher. Christopher was one of those characters that you just fall in love with. Not like that, but your heart goes out to him because he's wanting to do stuff for his race. you see their side through his eyes, and they do a great job. Unfortunately, there was no actor playing Christopher. It was all animatronics and CGI. But even though he has this crazy alien face that you can't really tell reactions with, you come to love this face. And those are the two main characters, so I really can't get into detail about any other ones. Next, the production. First of all, kudos to Weta Workshop for their animatronics. The robotic aliens had great movement. And they use these eye expressions that made them almost feel as human as the human characters. They also did these torso breathing animatronics, and it was just that slight little detail that made those aliens feel just that extra bit real. And then the mandibles that are on their face, just kind of like finger work. You know, you don't recognize it, but it does play an important part in the detail. As for the CGI work, this production was $30 million. Wow, the graphics were great for $30 million. Better than some of the productions that we've seen that are in the hundreds of millions. The graphics were a little over-pixelated, but they were well hidden with the biographical style of the film. Basically, a little bit grainy, so CGI was a little bit covered up with that. But hey, get away with it. Way to go. Again, one of my most unfavorite things, shaky cam. They do use shaky cam, but it works for this film because of the style of the film. It wasn't as bad as certain films. It wasn't distracting. I think there was only a couple scenes where it's just like I really noticed the shaky cam. But they did use another new form that people have been using. It's the waist cam. So you have the camera on the actor and the camera is looking at the actor face up. If you guys ever watch any like ghost hunter stories, you'll see that they use the waist cam so you could get this shot of the person doing the ghost hunt. That's what they use in certain parts, and it worked out great. It got away from the shaky cam, but it gave you more of the in action, in your face reality. So no on the shaky cam, yes on the waist cam. The makeup, wow. They did a great job with prosthetics and details, and it was amazing, especially at the very end. A little bit of a spoiler here. Wikus is going through this transformation, and half of his body is just almost, well, I don't want to give the whole thing away, but it's almost alien-esque on half his body. I couldn't tell where the seams were. The blood was not overdone, and it was very well produced. So they were not overdone, and they were very believable.